Let me introduce myself to you. You know, my name is Justified, and I move a movement called Fathers in Hip Hop, and it's where we dive into the fatherhood, of these artists, the life that doesn't really get, talked about a whole lot. And I'm a single father myself, and raising two young, beautiful daughters. You know, their mama passed away 6 years ago, and that's how Fathers in Hip Hop kind of came together. Of me having to balance being a father and being in the game and doing shows and touring and things of that nature. So I like to talk to other artists and see what it's like for them to be fathers and heavily involved in the hip hop. So that's an area that I want to go into, among other things. Catch up with
Okay.
you and what you've been doing, and I just unscripted, chop it up with a legend. You know what I mean?
Sounds good. Let's get it popping.
Let's get it popping, man. Okay, real quick, just for my first question, just in your own words and perception, what is fatherhood to you?
Well, fatherhood to me is, you know, I've been a father for a long time. Um, it's sacrifice. It's a lot of sacrifice. It's going to be tough. It's very, very tough. But once you get the hang of it, and you're going to make mistakes every day along the way, it's probably one of the greatest gifts that you can express. Creating a child, bringing someone into this world to help the world go a little bit further, to do a little bit better.
Right. When I was talking with KRS-One, his answer was, a father is supposed to take you farther. You know how he talked, real slow and pronunciates everything. That was his take on it. Now you've been in the game forever. Like, I mean, you started off young when Bone Thugs and Harmony came out. You guys are still in your teenage years, right?
Yeah, definitely. We all met up around 16, 14, around that age. Oldest about 17, youngest 14. Um, yeah, right around there. Right around there, about 14 to 16 was from the youngest to oldest. Well, 17, 14 to 17.
And when did you have your first blessing?
Oh, my child, my seed, 15.
15. That's
Yep.
that that's a lot. That's a lot. So managing your career and also being a father, like, did that affect you in any way? Was it like any conflict of
Yeah.
interest in that?
I had to step away for about right when I put out my solo record. I had to step away from marketing and promoting my solo record because I had to raise my kids. Um, and I was with my kids for like 7 years straight, without their mother. Well, not 7 years. Let me see, about 4 years straight without their mother being in their lives. So I had to make a decision. So I decided to take those 4 years out. I put out things here and there, um, but I decided to take those years out and just be a father. Get the mansion, raise the children, take them to school, the nanny, that whole thing. So I lived that life, and those kids now have children. So, and one of
Right.
them, Junior, Lil Bizzy, he got that new song, Bizzy's in the House. That's tearing,
Yes.
that's tearing up the internet and Bloodline Harmony. And I got my youngest son, um, that was there on the record, Carbon Monoxide. So it come around full circle. Being a father, I work with my kids. So
Right.
it just come around full circle for sure.
And it's like when you think of the great NBA players who had their children follow in their footsteps and make it to the league. How special is that for you to be able to have hands on with your son's career and influencing him in a path that you've already paved? Is kind of like a guaranteed shot because of pops. You know what I mean?
Well, he was really, really good in sports in school. Academically, I think any father want to see their baby academically succeed just in case all else fails. You can rely on that. You can have that. But I worked through it. It was what he wanted to do. I accepted him, you know, and it helped grow our relationship. It helped me learn the man that he was coming to be. So it's a learning experience, fatherhood and parenthood. Like you really gotta, as you grow and as you grow with your kids, you gotta understand how to deal with them and for the ways that they're growing. Because being a parent never stops. Like you never
Right.
stop being a parent. Like never. You never stop being a father. You're gonna be a father no matter how old they get. You're gonna always be a father. And it's realizing it and balancing because they're gonna try to get one over on you because they feel entitled to you answering to them. Like
Right.
after you raise your kids so long and they answering to you, they feel like you need to answer to them. So you gotta start you gotta like deal with that phase of their lives and put them in check, and but in a loving way, so you can continue to have a relationship with your baby. So, and it's a lot of people that can't have relationships with their kids because their kids have totally rebelled against them, whether it was being with one of their enemies or talking to one of their exes or keeping a relationship and showing chinks in the armor. So families get destroyed and parenthood is tested like that. It's how you overcome that shit. That it's the experience, man. Nobody's experience is the same. It's just the experience.
Right. And you got to trust the process. And so, there it is there. But I have friends that had, celebrity parents, and a lot of times they feel abandoned and they feel like my mom was always my buddy. His mom and pops was in the group war, and he was like they was always on the road, and he was left with his grandparents. And as a grown ass man that's in his 50s now, he still carries a little bit of pain and hurt from that because he talks about it. Um, and it seems in your situation that through it all you remain connected. Did you ever go through anything where I know you said you took the 3-4 years off to strictly focus on that, but during those busy times when you're not there, was there levels of complaints and you're not here, or did you go through anything like that?
I think we all go through it. I mean, I, I don't know if I can count on one hand. I think that's just the normal transition of people and the normal transition of kids.
Right.
It's been several situations where to win an argument, like if you've been out all night or your mom come home and she catch you in a room with a dude, and then your mom call me and I'm checking you, like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? These
Right.
motherfuckers don't want nothing but one thing. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck are you doing?
Right.
Well, where was you? That's an excuse.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
they it's a convenient, but on some heart to heart type shit. Like I've always been one to really sit down and really tell my kids, you sure you want to know this? Like, are you sure you want me to tell you what's going on? You
Mm.
know, are you sure? Like, are you sure this is what you want to know right now? Because it has a lot to do with your mother. You know, now
Right.
we don't have to go through this if you just really want to understand. And I'll just say I've done everything that I can to be in your life all the time.
Right.
Everything that I
And there's
can.
those roadblocks. Sometimes women put up them roadblocks to
And
keep you from
mental
doing what you want to do.
and mental health is a real issue. People really
Yes.
out here committing suicide. And then you have a breaking point when somebody is using something that comes from you, something that you help create against you, and then
Mm.
using the law along with it. And, whether it's, okay, what are you spending this on? You know what I'm saying? Because if you're giving this to this next man in order to get some dope, because we from the fucking streets, or if you bring in somebody into the game that can help you double and flip this money that I'm giving you for our children, then it's something
Right.
fucking wrong with you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's those situations that are a lot different than, because everybody got their own situations. We come from where we come from. or whatnot. But I'm blessed to have other children by other people and not just one person.
Right.
So it's
You
so
said I'm
many
gonna be
different situations. I can mix it up and nobody
right.
get hurt. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's gonna come at you. The blame game is gonna happen, and mostly when they either want something, because they kids, man. They kids. They want money, they want candy. When they get a little bit older, they want to drink beer, they want to try marijuana. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully you can stop the motherfuckers there. Like stop right there. You know,
Stop that.
everybody don't want they yeah, everybody don't want their kids going over the beer limit. You don't want the heroin, the coke, the dope, the crack, the fentanyl, the lean, the pills, the X, and all that. You don't want that. Little drink.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Get in a little trouble. You know what I'm saying? Sow your oats, but no parent really want it to go beyond that and it to go further. So it's dealing with you got to deal with a lot of shit when you're a parent. You know what I mean? And when you have children, and children is everybody ain't gonna be you. Everybody not gonna make the supreme superb decisions that you've made. Whether you
Right.
ain't made supreme superb decisions, you get what I'm saying.
Right.
Everybody. So it's really just opening up your spirit, opening up your soul to other entities and beings that you consider noteworthy enough to love and take care of that emanate from you on just like a hyper sensualized, kind of picture. You know what I'm saying? So that's what parenthood is. That's what fatherhood is. It's bringing people a part of you. We're in a place where otherwise you can be alone
Now,
inside you.
that's dope.
Yeah.
Now, you said something about the getting the call because your daughter got a nigga in the room or something like that, and it's like, what are you doing? Um, I ride with this movement that's called Daughters Lives Matter, and we have a program and campaign that we're launching called Pimp Proof, discussing ways with fathers of how to pimp proof, their daughters. So when you just hear that term pimp proof, what's the first thing that kind of comes to mind?
I think that um, it's a good way to catch a lot of people. Uh, but in life, kids are going to explore. You explored, I explored, my mom explored, and it's not going to happen the way you know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good way to capture a certain demographic, but I think if you put a little bit more heart into it, that's what's going to capture females because that's the only
Mm-hmm.
thing. Like what I learned with my daughters, they're very soft, they're very
Right.
sensitive. Now, if you teaching men, immediately a man is going, he gonna rebel. Even if it's true, just because don't no man want to think in that light. I think if you give it to them a little lighter, I think people would enjoy that. How to, you know,
Mm-hmm.
um, bulletproof is a better word to be honest with you.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? How
Right.
to make
And
your
see,
daughter
pimp proof, like you
bulletproof
said,
from
it draws something. Real talk. And what it is really a conversation, and the pimping isn't
oh, okay.
necessarily just walking the blade type thing. You know what I mean? It's we say part of pimp proofing is making sure that your daughter, has her education, that you push
Oh yeah.
that for her to go
Yeah.
further in education. We want
Yeah.
to deal with poverty avoidance. We want to have those conversations and put those things in place to
Well, I'm gonna
keep our
tell you,
daughters from being in poverty.
I had a big, just a big fuss with my daughter about this particular situation. One of my daughters, because she didn't want to go to college. She got 4.6 grade point average, and she told me I worked all these years for 12 years, and I worked so hard that I don't want to go to school for another 4 years. So I'm pissed. Like I'm pissed. Like I'm mad than a motherfucker. And I'm just waiting on the where were you when bullshit. So I'm just waiting. But I'm mad
Right.
than a motherfucker, but I'm trying to understand her ass. And then all of a sudden, the coronavirus hit. Now, are you going to tell me you can't go to college online? So those are the kind of things that happen with my daughter and myself, you know? So yeah, that sounds like a really, really good concept. Now that you elaborated some more on it, I think you'll get a whole bunch of good fathers there giving up good game. And then people will see this is
Right.
just good game. These is rules, these is steps, these is regulations. So,
Right.
and then you got to put a package around any message. You know what I'm saying? It's got
Yeah.
to be a logo. It's got to have something that patents it to make it. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like straight up.
Right
I
now
get it.
we're about to launch these they're about this big, but they're little bats. And it says pimp proof on it. And it's like,
Nice.
so that's part of the merchandising. And it's
Much
really the message
success.
behind the merchandise is like, we're protecting our daughters. We want to do our best. Like you said, they're going to make their own choices, but there are certain things that we can do as fathers to influence those
Yeah,
choices.
that's round table, man. That's really good. That could you could do a lot of stuff with that. Like it could just be you gather, yeah, you could do a lot of stuff with that. I'm quite sure you understand how far that can go. But that's a
Yes,
show
sir.
within itself. And what people are gonna start getting into is doing more than one show on their channel. You know, and they're gonna start doubling back and tripling back on the work and so on. That's one of them. That's one of them right there. So keep that in mind for yourself and double up. Like I'm doing Thursdays and Saturdays on my YouTube channel. So I'm
Hmm.
doubling up. You know what I mean? So make sure if you doing that and you doing a round table, that's like two forms of content on your page that give people a lot more to look at. It give people a choice. So
Right.
I push you forward as a brother in arms, man. You know what I'm saying? As your brother in arms, I'm definitely want to give you some confidence in making that happen sooner than later. And it could be your
I,
baby. You could take
I,
it to the next level.
and see, I'll give props. Is actually my guy Terry Boykins and the Daughters
Okay.
Lives Matter, and they've brought Fathers in Hip Hop in as partners to
Nice.
help move that because it's very cohesive.
Whose
My
channel is it
agenda
going to
and
be
their
going
agenda.
on? Whose
Say that
channel
again.
is it going? Who you know that it can be monetized to one person, but it
Hmm.
can go on everybody's channel.
Right.
So it goes everywhere that it can. It can still go on everybody's channel. That's sort of like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, how other motherfuckers do it when they have a big deal with these companies or these labels that like, out in New York, it's a big to do over Breakfast Club and
Right.
Sirius and all the rest of these other people that these guys are working with. So yeah, definitely, man. So yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep going. This is good. This is good, man. This is good. I'm congratulations on that goddamn connection with that group of people that you're working with. That's positive, positive, positive.
Yeah, and that's the name of the parent company is Street Positive, and
There you go.
they embraced me, about 10 years ago, before I was a single father. But I went to their Million Father March, and Mr.
Nice.
Perkins has been my mentor, and he basically have nurtured me and given me guidance along my own journey, with my movement. And that's something that he came to me with that they're doing, and I'll be a spokesperson, a voice of it. And I think it's great because my daughters are 12 and 14, and I'm definitely on my pimp proof, and like I'm definitely don't want to see my babies hit this world not prepared, to make it, with or without a man. You don't want to have your daughter subject to a man because she can't provide for herself, and she's in a position where this
Definitely.
nigga controlling her, and and she like, daddy ain't there, he in Australia right now, and this nigga gonna buy my iPhone and shit, so I'm gonna go sit in this nigga Cadillac or something for a minute.
And
But
let me tell you, man, a lot of that conversation has to have diverse convo too. You know what I mean? You gotta understand, like, you might fall in love with somebody that ain't the right person to fall in love with, and they might teach the children something that you wouldn't otherwise teach them children. So those subjects, you're gonna have a show on your hands when people start opening the fuck up and being honest with this situation. It's gonna be good, man. But yeah, definitely, man. Congratulations on that. Congratulations.
most deaf. Now I know you're real busy. You've been doing a lot of acting, and where's that at? What's your plan? Are you looking to kind of more move into the film industry? I know you're not going to give up music because it's too much a part of who you are. It's therapeutic. You're gonna make music whether you put it out or not. But is your focus shifting towards film?
Well, I've done 5 movies so far. My focus is we put out the record last year. We put 5 videos together along with the Jam TV. I love that lane because I see that, one day being syndicated. Um, so I have a film executive produced by Crazy Bone and Busy Bone
Okay.
called Sons of St. Clair. Now that's Netflix bound. So that's what we're
Okay.
working on with that.
Hey, that
So
Netflix is some good money.
it's definitely been transitioning and sticking to my roots of my record. My record did so good. The carbon monoxide has been doing so good, and it charted and it did so good on the charts, and it's consistent. That's really moving really good. And the documentary that I'm doing on Seven Signing in My Life Story, I got that whole thing written. I'm thinking maybe come out with a book first, like do the book first and then do the narration of the book first and then let the movie come afterwards. Um, but coronavirus slowed down a lot of things. To put together a 10-minute reel, to call up Screen Actors Guild, put together a little budget just for the little scene. Okay, this is the sizzle. This is what we're trying to do. Da, 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 da. We want to take it to the next level. So we're in those stages right now. It took me like 3 years in order to write my biopic, and we're just giving people Bone Thugs and Harmony in intervals because we've been through so much, and we've been in this business for so long that we're
Man,
giving it the story and the brand in intervals because people are really really into the um, tragedy to triumph thing, and people have a lot of love for Bone, for Easy E, and the era that we come from, and you know we got a really really solid group of people that love us. So that's
right.
what's in the near future. But film is definitely, it's in the transition. I've been doing film for a while though. At least 15 years. I did my first movie like 15 years ago, I think.
Name some of the stuff that you've appeared in that people might not necessarily remember. Be like, damn, that was busy.
Yep.
Drop some of them
I
titles.
did Jacked Up. A lot of this stuff I put my own paper behind, but I did Jacked Up. That played on BET for a long, long, long time. I did the Color of a Dream with a guy by the name of Tyler Perry, with Sherman Hemsley, Angelina Jolie's brother, a whole bunch of other. I did one called What Now in 2015. Like it's about social media and how it's taken over the world. Let me see, what else did I do? I did Cutthroat Alley with Mac 10. So I did that. I did Alpha and Omega. I put a movie out with my record Alpha and Omega. So those are
Mhm.
like my film credits that I've been able to do. Some stuff I did on my own. Some stuff I worked with, production companies. Lions Den, I think, or Lions Gate has the film Jacked Up now. So yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you this because I haven't seen all of those. Do you find yourself being like typecasted? Are your characters kind of always the same dude, or have you been versatile in the roles that you've been able to portray?
Well, Jacked Up, I was a straight up gang. I like I ran drugs. I ran this gang on Jacked Up. I was like
Okay.
totally the antagonist in the movie,
Right.
just like totally the bad guy.
Okay.
Um, it's a good movie though. And What Now? I played a musician, rapper named B Murder who transitioned himself to God. That I went the God route, and I was getting married, and I met 4 friends in this strip club, and they moved in with me, and through a series of events, I had my nagging fiance that we're setting up a wedding. I got my attorney, uh, an Australian gentleman who played that character. And so that's all about social media, and it's a couple twists, it's a couple of turns, and that. Um, So I don't know if it's typecast, so much Cutthroat Alley. You know, I was getting head in the car. You know what I'm saying?
So
And it's like a
you say you
scary
get to be a
movie.
whole lot of yourself on screen. Like I got these
I,
roles that I can relate to.
like, so I don't know if that has anything to do with me, but it sounds like me. No, I'm just bullshit.
It sounds
It sounds like me.
like
It sounds like something I do.
the
Thank you.
busy bone, the busy bone. You know what I'm saying? You have to be busy with the bone. But
Yeah, but
man, that's dope.
all bull to the side though. I don't think it's really typecast because I loved every character I got to play. And that's
Hmm.
probably why I don't think that way, but it might kind
Right,
of be, you know what I'm saying?
right. I mean, it's like, can we see Busy Bone, coming out, playing, how Will Smith did Ali? Could you see,
I mean,
yourself
I'd
being
love to be
somebody
able
else?
to try. I'd love to be able to try Big Meech. You know,
Okay.
for the new BMF movie, I love to fuck with that. And a few different other things like that. That's the kind of stuff that get me excited. Besides that, I would love to be able to stretch some. You know, but that's the kind of stuff that get me excited. Like those kind of characters. Like, oh, that'd be nice. I'd like to try out for that. You know what I mean?
Have you done any, like, do you do any acting training? Do you get any, teaching, or
No, I haven't.
just
I haven't.
straight coming
I
to
haven't.
your natural thing?
I never took a drama class, none of that. It just evolved by the way we were doing videos when I started seeing the work behind how we did videos. Cause like we were
Right,
doing, you look at Crossroads, it's a movie. You look at Change the World, it's a movie. You look If I Could Teach the World, it's a movie. You look at it,
right.
Ruggish Bone, that's a little bit more rougher and street, edgier. That was when Easy did that one. And For the Love of Money, that was more street, edgy, rough. Um, so yes, we always yeah elevated from there, from the videos to guest appearances to and we did the Black Panther thing. And then I
Right.
was like watching how Mario Van Peebles had put together all these brothers and he did this whole production himself. And when you see somebody else doing it, it sparks something in your mind too,
It's
because
inspiration.
our day is the day of the spark. Generation X, we was all about the spark of entrepreneurship. You know,
Right.
that's always been our thing. Generation Z, they here, they doing their thizzle. And then it goes back to Generation A. You understand? Artificial intelligence or whatnot. But so yeah, definitely.
Let's real quick. You came up under, the late great Easy E. I'm a Compton baby, you know what I mean? So I rep the city of Compton, and definitely much love. Rest in peace to Easy E.
For
Um,
sure.
and I'm connected with his son, with E3.
Yep. Yep. Them two
E3,
niggas is my niggas.
we've hung out. I know Baby Easy, like I said, but the person that I've hung around the most and been in, one-on-one situations with is E3. We were both working with Buddy Boy under Cocaine, the great Cocaine,
Yeah,
the most featured artist in the world. That's my
that's my
that's my
nigga.
big bro.
Like I gotta
Cocaine's
get
my
with
big bro.
Cocaine, man. I need like 3 or 4 chorus lines and just
Oh, he's
him and
working
me
right
just
now
do
too.
just him and me just do something really, really good and just put that out and see what kind of little money we can make.
Well, if I'm sure you can connect the dot, but if you need it connected, I can definitely, get
No,
you his line.
definitely. Yeah, send my love out to him and tell him I had a couple ideas on the real shit. Like to
Yeah,
do
that's
something really nice. Cause
that's
I
my
love
big
what he
bro right
did
there.
with yeah, I love what he did with the Last Supper. Um,
Okay.
I think what he did with the Last Supper really, really refined and defined because he used to be with Easy. Like
Right.
cocaine was with Easy first.
I'm already
So
knowing.
I
Ruthless.
remember him, yeah, man. I remember him. And yeah, I love to do something really, really nice, like real, real nice for sure. Send my love and shit.
When I get off with you, I'll reach out to him and I'll get him August's number or whatever, and I'm sure he'll
Nice.
be he'll be. That's easy. That's big bro. Like that's that he was there for me when my wife was sick. Coco used
Damn.
to call me 3, 4 in the morning and pray with me, and we used to host a blog talk radio show called Mafia Radio, and it stood
Mm-hmm.
for Men of Faith and Action. And we used to
Mm.
bring the West Coast rappers on, and we talk about faith and family, kind of a precursor to my Fathers in Hip Hop movement, so to speak. Fathers in
Let me
Hip
tell
Hop
you
is
something.
a branch.
It ain't nothing like a man with the faith of God, man, in this world. It make it make life worth living, man. So definitely, man. Definitely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Uh, man, I don't want to take up, a whole lot of your time. I'm just grateful, for the time that you did give to me. And my thing is, I have an agenda, and my agenda is to spread the importance of the role of fathers. That's
Nice.
God showed me that when He took my wife, and I was left with these two girls. I really had to face fatherhood because
Mm-hmm.
a sucker would have ran the other way. You feel me? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I held it down. It's been 6 years. They were 6 and 8, and now they're
Mm.
12 and 14. And God has been good to me, and He's given me all that I need to take care of them. And in exchange for that blessing, I'm called
That's the
to reach
fountain of
out.
youth, man. We know
I
when
didn't
them
hear you.
kids leave, that's the fountain of youth. When them kids
Man,
leave, it take 20, it add 20 years onto your life. You know what I mean? Kids make such a huge impact, man. Such a huge impact, for real, for real. Condolences, for one, and for sure.
yeah, it's all good. So, um, me having folks like yourself and Cocaine has done, the IG live with me. Spider Loke from the G Unit, he done the
Yeah,
live. I reach out. I got a lot of West Coast, old school connects, the OGs of the West.
that's right.
They deal with me, and I'm asking them, and this is what you've done for me. You've allowed me to utilize your influence of, the world loves Busy Bone, and now they got to
Bone
hear Busy
Thugs in
Bone talk
Harmony,
about
baby.
fatherhood. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
a conversation. I don't know how many times or you've been interviewed that was the meat of the conversation. I'm not sure.
No,
Um,
no, no, definitely, definitely. This is definitely different and it's definitely necessary. You know what I'm saying? These things only normally happen, on syndicated programs.
mhm.
So, to have it and have the access to it, man, it's long as you keep pushing like you pushing, it's gonna really take off. But nah, to answer your questions, not as today we did. You know what I mean? Today we did, and I'm quite sure that it's gonna be more later on. You know what I mean? But you innovative with it. You hitting them before a lot of motherfuckers, and you doing it because it's something near and dear to you. This ain't superficial. This ain't no robotic shit. So
Right,
no,
right.
it's definitely, yeah. That's
It's
that's
definitely a
def
passion and it's
that's
a
a def.
purpose.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. People gonna really, they gonna see it. I can see that shit. So I know they gonna see it. For real.
Man, this is dope, bro. Like, I'm grateful because I see it making its way. Like, I met Lazy. I met, my nigga Frank Nitty, right? Over
Yeah,
there
I
at
know
the
nitty
Arch in
gritty.
Riverside. Nitty Gritty,
Yeah,
that's my
yeah,
guy. I was just over there with him maybe a couple nights ago. They were shooting a video for Young Blue, and I pulled
yeah,
up. But I met Lazy at an event with Too Short, and I blessed him with a Fathers in Hip Hop hat and a shirt, and so
yeah.
I definitely been trying to reach out to him again because he was at the Too Short event with his kids. Like, they was deep. And, I saw his fatherhood in action. Like, it was right there. When he got the shirt, he gave it to his daughter, like, here, baby, hold this, put it in the bag. And, they walked out with it, in his arms. And it's just, I know I'll be able to connect, with him. Eventually I have his direct line. It's just hard to get him to pick up. But, I'm working on it. But again, thank you for, joining me and having that conversation because I think it's going to do some good to some other fathers out there to look up to you to be like, damn, all I thought was boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? And they never might have looked at that father influence that you have and the fact that, you took off from the game to raise yours for the time that they needed you the most, man. That's a salute. And that's what these niggas need to know, man. These
Let me
niggas
tell
need to
you,
know
my
that kid.
my channel, my channel is all about it. I named Jam TV is named after my son Jesse Anthony McCain. Um,
Man.
so I opened this up. This is his company. This is something,
Right.
this is generational wealth.
There it is.
So you already know. It's
Man.
so this is generational wealth. So I know exactly what you mean. And definitely, man, it's my life. It's what I'm doing. It's my world right now. And it's been my world for a long time. It's just never been able to be highlighted.
Right. And I think it's time to highlight that because it's an agenda against the father. You feel me? It's they want us to look a certain way. If you can remove the head, the body dies. And fathers are made to be the head. So if the game could have took you away from your responsibilities and had you just completely absent from your children's lives, that would have that would have affected them, far beyond anything that maybe you guys have had to come against now. But the fact that you were there, present, and even in a position to argue and disagree. Some motherfuckers can't even have a disagreement with their father because that nigga ain't nowhere around. So just the fact that you made yourself available to argue
Oh, you
is
gotta do that. Yeah, you gotta do
is
that. Like it's very difficult. It's very difficult when you're not with the person any longer and you live in a different state or whatever it may be, or even the person that you're trying to work with. But it's oh, I get what you mean, and that make a whole lot of sense. You gotta have it in you. Some people just don't want to be fathers.
right.
Some people just, some people that's not what they signed up for, or they so bitter at the person that they was fucking with that they willing to not be around this child at the same time. And then you got other things where motherfuckers use the child against another parent. So you have so many different outlooks on it. And you're right, man, to succumb past that, to supersede over that, and to still have a superb relationship with your child is definitely very, very important. And if you can make it through that, then you won. You're a champion. You know what I'm saying? So shouts out to all the fathers out there because it's really, really necessary to know. Well, most motherfuckers don't have their own goddamn father and ain't been raised by no goddamn body they self. They don't know what the fuck they doing. It ain't no handbook to this shit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no rule book to this is how you gotta do this. 1, 2, 3, ABC. You gotta learn as you go along the way. Let your heart guide you, and you're gonna be on point. And you let God guide your steps, so you can't lose. So
Man,
that's how I look at it.
that's super dope. I know you got a tour. What's up with the tour? When does that launch?
Man, shit, man. The tour didn't seem like we was supposed to already be on tour. We was supposed to be doing, we supposed to start on 420. That's supposed to be for a week. Then back in, we go back in end of May. Around now, some of June, we lean back, and then we go August, September, October, November straight, like 90 days. So we like was gonna warm up, like do a
Right.
couple of warm up shows and shit, get ready. Okay, the show sound good this way. I like this song in here better. Da, 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 da. All right, you need to be more
Right.
energetic on stage. You put the mic down, nigga. You don't sound right. All that shit and critique and do all of that
Right. Work out
and
the kinks.
work out the goddamn kinks. But we ain't really been able to get started because everybody's social distancing, and then it's only so many people allowed in the building at a time. So now we got to rearrange everything. If it's only 50 people in a place, and then
Yeah.
everybody's got to be 6 feet apart. You know what I'm saying? So everything's got to be changed if we expect to go do a show and expect for anybody to come. You know what I'm saying? It's got to
Hey,
be
they
more
gonna find a way to
exclusive.
just jack up some ticket prices.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be exclusive, and it's got to have some extra shit in there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's got to be exclusive. It's like straight up, like it's got to be posh, but it can be done. So anyway, that's what's going on. We had them all set up, and this shit hit. Now motherfuckers can't gather. Not more than 50 people can gather in one place, or the police coming to shut the bitch down. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So nobody want that kind of trouble. So we got 90 cities. That's gonna be the biggest tour that I've ever had. This year was supposed to be. So it's 90 motherfucking cities that we got on the table.
Man, that's. Hey, I hope it
That's
all works out.
fucking
Either way it
amazing.
goes, they're gonna make it work, and whatever happens, it's gonna be what it's supposed to be. But you know, I'm also an event promoter. I've done the clubs and different things like that. But now I've kind of taken my focus on creating, family friendly
Content.
situations. But I would definitely like to when you talk about a round table, when things open up, I definitely, reach out to August and, get to you and invite you out, and we, make it make business sense, and,
Right.
have this type of dialogue in front of a live audience, and,
That'd be
maybe
cold. Like straight up, like that's what the shit is coming to.
that's
Like
my
it's
goal.
op-
That's my
it's
vision.
opened up the game, man. It's opened up the game for all kind of ideas. I seen Joe Budden do it. I seen a couple other people do it. It's opened up the game for all kind. And this was before social distancing. So now, even with social distancing, you add social media and social distancing, just being social in any capacity for somebody to go out, go do something, get them a drink, get them some fucking wings, some fucking, ice cream, just something nice,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Chill
Like
out.
it ain't gotta be, it could be put together, like it could be done like a motherfucker. Like if motherfucker just do it right. Just a motherfucker gotta just do it right. As long as a motherfucker do it right and they clean to the bone, when they, like a fine tooth comb, and they clean no matter what they do. All the food workers got their gloves, all the waiters got their gloves, they got their masks on. You know what I'm saying? And motherfuckers come in, they got their mask with them. It can fucking happen. You know what I mean? It's just somebody gotta get people used to doing that. Cause I know my girl, Houston just, Texas just opened up. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? All of Texas. So my homeboy, he out in El Paso. So, everybody's starting to be able to go out, and everybody's starting to be able to like go do shit. And motherfuckers is enjoying it. So yeah, I see that happening, man. For real. I see that happening.
In my conversation with you, I'm led because of the story, that you've told me and the things that you've disclosed to me about your fatherhood. I'm going to get you one of these. I'll work it out with August. However, this is one that I had done for the game, that I haven't got to get to him yet. But
That's nice.
we do the Fathers in Hip Hop Awards,
That's
and
dope.
it's just to honor fathers.
That's
Um,
dope.
so I want to be able to get you one if I got to mail it to you or
That's
give it
dope.
to
Yeah, yeah.
August.
We'll get the address. We'll get the address. I'll have August send the address and everything of that nature. For sure, for sure.
And I would love to present you, with a Fathers in Hip Hop Award. And I'm just grateful for the time you gave me today. I'm
Thank
sure I'll
you.
be in communication with August some more. And yeah, brother, I wanna tap into your influence, again in a different setting, and really see how I can get you involved with this Fathers in Hip Hop, man, because I think you are that. You are a father in hip hop. You and the world need to know it. You know what I mean? You'll probably make some little young nigga that idolize you want to take better care of his baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I can't be busy a good daddy. I got to be a good daddy too.
You got
So,
that right, brother. I appreciate you. I definitely appreciate you. I totally appreciate you, man. Much love to you, much success, much blessings. Make sure everybody download my record, man. Make sure everybody stream my record, Carbon Monoxide. Is out
definitely gonna
now.
push it.
Yep, and I got another record coming out this year, and all the projects that we talked about. Follow Bone Thugs and Harmony and everybody's social site in the group, and I appreciate you.
Man, I appreciate you, and I'm gonna be with August, and I'm gonna get your info, and I'm gonna get you out a Fathers in Hip Hop Award. My plan is to make the Fathers in Hip Hop Awards bigger than the BET Awards one day, when we can
Mm,
bring back some even if it's a small private event. But I definitely, want to honor the guys in the game. Cocaine got one. He got 8 babies, 1 baby mama, and they still
wow.
holding it down. We presented him with one. I gave KRS One a Fathers in Hip Hop Award.
Mm.
Um, I want to get Bizzy an award because I'm
That's prestigious shit right there, man. Just the recipients of it. It's a beautiful thing. I make sure that August gets everything that you need out there. And I appreciate you as well, man. For real.
man. You have a blessed day, and I hope we'll be able to connect again and and and
Okay.
and, and, and build on this seed that's been planted. But put some water on it, and maybe me and you can go get a harvest together somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep. Yep. That sounds like a
Make it make
motherfucking
sense.
plan. Be good to yourself, man. God bless you.
God bless, big dog. Peace.